Will anyone defend this, I wonder? We've had this before with a bouncing Russian, Victor, and no one defended it. No one could. It was ridiculous. And now we're going to get the same silliness served up by this fella. You literally, after about 3 or 4 seconds, see his harness or his lifting device, whatever is being used here, activated as he has a little shunt. And then the bouncing mockery begins. In fact, before we do play the clip, I just want to show you something, the floor of the ISS. Bear with me. So this is the floor. You've got these blue bars on the floor, which the astronauts hook their feet under, okay, to stabilize themselves in this so-called weightless environment, okay? Just want to show you that before we watch the silliness. Right, so we're back with our mate. It's about 6 seconds in, our friend here has his first judder. As it would seem, the lifting device or apparatus is activated. And there begins the bouncing mockery. Pay particular attention to his legs, his thighs, as he's bouncing up and down. And pay particular attention to how high he's bouncing. Now, bearing in mind, we're faced with 2 scenarios here. One, our bouncing friend has his feet under the blue bars and is doing squats, bizarrely enough, while he's being interviewed. Not only is that ridiculous, but you would need to have shins at least 4 foot in height to enable him to get anywhere near the height our bouncing friend gets to. So that's not a good option anyway, and that's the first option. And the second's even worse, because the second option is he hasn't got his feet hooked under the bars and he's bouncing up and down like he's on a trampoline. The problem with that is, how does he change his directional vector from one point going up to the next moment going downwards in the opposite direction? How is that possible in a weightless environment if his feet aren't hooked under the bars? So I say, we've only got 2 choices. One, he's got his feet under the bars and he's got shins 4 feet high and he's doing squats while he's being interviewed. Or 2, he's not, and he's bouncing up and down and his directional vectors are changing because of magic. So let's have a look.
Awesome. And obviously I do want to ask, the spacecraft that brought you
Judder,
up to the
get
International
ready.
Space Station was manufactured by Boeing. Do you have any suggestions for them for next time?
Boing.
Sure, we got a lot of suggestions. and we'll share all of those. And they've made some great strides and wonderful positive impacts on the human spaceflight, and they'll continue to do so. And suggestions.
Any fantasists thinking that gold carabiner there is a glimmer of hope for their delusional world? Wrong. Demonstrable reality destroys all this. And that carabiner, I hate to break it to you, is augmented reality. People interact with things that aren't actually there, but they're presented to us on screen as being there. It's quite clever. So that's not going to cut it either. I want to know how our bouncing friend here is changing his vector.
That's back and forth. It's always that way, regardless of it's the same way with SpaceX and other providers, others that are coming online. So sure, you bet.
I get the sense, though, that you're not too upset about having a longer stay up on that space station.
No, there's no reason to be.
Come back again. Like I said, someone come and defend this. How does he change his vectors? Why is he bouncing so high?
Awesome. And obviously I do want to ask, the spacecraft that brought you up to the International Space Station was manufactured by Boeing. Do you have any suggestions for them for next time?
Sure, we got a lot of suggestions.
See, those first few bounces are very, very telling. Once more. Let's come to his first shudder.
Station was manufactured by Boeing. Do you have any suggestions for them for next time?
Sure, we got a lot of suggestions. and we'll
I got a couple of suggestions. Tone down the bouncing bullshit, mate. It's too obvious. Even space fans are going to have a hard time trying to justify what we've just seen here, because it makes no sense. Just like your globe Earth, just like your silly stories of spaceship doing ludicrous speeds, free falling around a ball in a vacuum. It's just daft. Not only is it daft, it's physically impossible. Wake up, folks.